like yourself and like Jacinta Price and like Warren Mundine have maintained forever that the real way to close the gap between Indigenous and non-Indigenous Australians is by adopting a ground-up approach to find real solutions to issues in vulnerable remote communities, and that this top-down approach that encompasses the voice has failed time and time again. Now, Anthony, regarding Indigenous issues, do you think people adopt this more ideological approach over a practical, pragmatic one, simply do that because it's a leftist's easy way out?
Yeah, the key word there was easy, okay? And we know that, you know, it's human nature to often take the path of least resistance. And we know that the mayor in Alice Springs was saying, you know, with regard to the problems up there, he said, we need to have tough conversations. And people steer away from tough conversations. And so, yeah, quite obviously it does seem to be that people want this nice, rosy, easy approach, especially one that's sort of romanticised with language of self-determination and people taking control of their own affairs, et cetera, which is just nonsense. We know that it's got to be, well, you know, to close the gap, it's like Warren keeps saying, economic participation, schooling, all that sort of thing. And here's the real clincher, I think. When we look at the, I've said this before, when we look at the Indigenous architects of the voice, and we all know who they are, I have a lot of respect for every one of them. I disagree with every one of them, but I have a lot of respect because they are high achievers. They have achieved because they've got an education, they've taken opportunities when given to them, and they've done it all without the voice. So they should be using their voices to say, hey, to those disadvantaged Aboriginal Australians, what you've got to do is what I've done. You know, get into the job market, get an education,